Yo, what's good? What's good, y'all? It's your boy Furious, aka POW, Prisoner of War, Black Masterminds Podcast. Got my co-host Big Boy and 40, and we got some guests up here, Malik and Cutie Pie. Let's have a good show today, man. Let's have a good show today. Yeah. Is everybody off mute? I ain't got nobody on mute, though.
Hey, what's up?
No, I'm off of you. What's up? What's up?
Peace. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir. Hear you loud and clear.
I'm back.
Uh,
Yes, sir. I'm back. Yeah, man. We'll talk about a couple things. So I'm gonna start off with Travis Hunter. Uh, I started off saying that attacking Travis Hunter, then I started to feel bad for him. But now I feel like I want to attack him a little bit more. Let me pull up something real quick. I just feel sorry for the brother. I mean, we all been here before. Where the video at?
Story, the love story.
Bro, it's crazy. It's kind of funny because now her brother is like my best friend.
Yeah, I see y'all rocking the life together.
Yeah. He's here at the house, but he's at work right now. But like, he seen her phone one day. He went to her phone one day, and I texted her on Instagram, and he seen that text. He's like, "You don't know who this is?" So he was like, "You don't know who this is, bro?"
You're a real wing man.
She was. Hey, he was a good wing man.
D-Wade,
Like,
you
boy, I don't
LeBron.
care. She was like, "Boy, I don't care who that is." But she seen my text message a long time ago. She just never.
Yeah, she's ignoring
She
you.
left you on red, gang?
Ignore you.
Oh.
And that's when I was nothing. So she
Yeah.
man, I don't care about it. And like, she still don't even know why she talked to me.
Seems like she keeps you grounded.
How'd the story start, the love story?
Bro, it's crazy. It's kind of funny because now her brother is like my best friend.
Yeah, I see y'all.
Boy, I feel so sorry for this brother. He's setting himself up for a fail. So the girl that he with right now, he got her number and he was texting her and she wasn't texting him back. Until her brother said, "Why are you not texting him back? Do you know who this is? This guy would be this guy gonna be worth some money one day." Then she proceeded to engage with him, and now they in a relationship. Am I off on this one, or is that shady business, or am I off? Anybody got something to say? I could be off. I could be tripping.
I think that's a possible red flag. Hello?
Yeah. You say you think it's
we can
possible
hear
red
you.
flag?
Yeah, I think that's a red flag. That when she realized his status, that's when she was interested. I think that's a red flag. Um, I've been looking at this. I just recently, maybe a couple weeks ago, got caught up with this Travis Hunter thing, and I think this is a good kid. I think he's clean cut. I mean, and I think he has a great future ahead of him. And I feel like, in many ways, the young lady, um, you know, I think people are jumping on every instance that they could see, but I think that he does need, if his father's not there, for prime time or for somebody to pull his collar on this and be like, you got to be careful with this one. I saw the video when he won the when he had the best career college football career game of his life, and then it kind of seemed like she was upset about something when she didn't want to give him a kiss. She kind of took away from his moment. I saw, that she possibly was a video girl at some point, which I think is a major red flag. And so somebody needs to talk to him. But I think a lot of what's becoming his way hasn't been constructive, and that's why the young brother deactivated his account, because it's bullying at this point. If somebody's legitimately concerned, it needs to be some of these older football players that are seasoned Hall of Famers or seasoned ball players to tell him like what the dangers are. I'm saying, especially like kind of give him the Jesus Shuttlesworth talk. You know, be careful for some of these girls out here. They don't all have your best interests. You know what I mean?
And then she clearly stated when they first started dating that she wasn't even attracted to him, which to me was the first major red flag that this woman's not even attracted to you. So why he continued to date her after that point, or maybe he was being pushed to date her. She fit the criteria of what the NFL wife, girlfriend, fiance is supposed to fit. But I agree with Malik, like somebody really, and I've seen a lot of celebrities, like I think, who was it? Bow Wow left a video. There's been a couple celebrities that have left videos for him and said, hey, dude, like, you need to stop, which is probably why he stepped away from social media. It is a lot of pressure, and he is young for just winning the Heisman and the pressure of the NFL coming at him, contracts, and then seeing all the video that has been released of her with other men and her liking and putting, what was it, a heart emoji with a smiley face with the dollar signs over the eyes on another athlete, and that was recently within the last couple of
Hmm.
weeks. So it's like this young man really needs protection around him because her intentions are clearly not good.
One of the best voices that I saw on this issue was Deion Sanders' son, Shador. He went on Twitter and said, if you really are concerned, it's all you should. If you're a celebrity, you should know how to get through to him and try to get to the proper channels to get to him. And because if you're going on social media, it can be seen as just hopping on a story, just want to come with a hot take or just clout chasing. So somebody needs to pull his collar in private. I definitely saw the video where when he won the Heisman Award and like she was the only one not standing, giving him a standing ovation, and Dion had to like nudge her like to stand up and clap for him. Like I think those are all I think everything that I've seen so far is very problematic when it comes to this young lady, and I'm concerned for the kid, and I question her motives. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everybody always talk about how men are predatory, and men are predatory when it comes to women. Let's be honest. Let's keep it a stack. But women are predatory too. Women, a lot of these groupies and these so-called women, right? They go to these parties and they see a player over there. Hey, girl, what's his name? Then they Google his name. He worth that much. Then they said it. Then at that point, she predatory. At that point, she's preying on a human being. But we don't talk about that. How Big Boy and 40, how y'all feel?
Well, I just pray that the young man wake up. I mean, I think he's everyone. I don't want to judge or criticize the young blood because I think everyone has made mistakes, made bad decisions or choices that they made. It's a part of growing up. It's a part of life. A part of this experience. I just hope it don't be as costly for him as it possibly can be. So my only hope is that he could just wake up and see the picture and that he doesn't have the best interest for him, and hopefully he can get it and go forward. That's really all I have to say. She's doing what playing the game, how the game go, man. Her brother put her on the game and she's going with her move. Can't be mad at her about it. I mean, in the society we live in, that's what she's supposed to do.
Do we know anything about his upbringing?
Hold
Because I feel
on,
like
hold on, let
okay,
me get 40 in here real quick, and then we'll go to you.
okay.
How you feel, 40?
I feel like it's nothing wrong with a woman going after the bag. I think that's damn near within their nature to seek security, to seek. They think about generational wealth and stuff like that. So with them and their kids and things of that nature. But with that said, it's a thin line when it comes to that as well. because this woman is obviously a garden tool. So she it's one thing to want to secure the bag for yourself and for your children and for future generations and stuff like that, but it's another what she's doing, and she's she's not thinking she don't have the mindset of longevity. She's thinking about here and now, and she's willing, from what I'm seeing, she's willing to jump to man, um, just looking for a quick snack. So she's everything that everyone is seeing or saying about her and seeing and whatnot. I feel that's who she is. She's a garden tool, man. Just up and down.
Yeah. I I think the part that I feel sorry for him is he got that Nickelodeon Disney kid vibe to him, where you've been praised you've been praised your whole childhood, you've been praised your whole teenage, because they knew you, I'm sure they knew you was going to be a star, right? So that's the part, the popular famous kids, they are socially handicapped because they haven't had they don't get real like heartbreaks, and they don't get real life lessons. So I don't think he's had any life lessons. By the time I was his age, I probably had like 2 heartbreaks, couple friends that turned their back on me, you know what I mean? But when you got money and you famous, you don't get those life lessons. You see what I'm saying? You got something to say, Malik?
Oh yeah, I was going to speak. I was wondering, questioning his like his background, his upbringing, because he may be very naive to all of this. I mean, to be 21 years old and already married or engaged, I think. Is he married or engaged?
Engaged, I believe.
Okay, so yeah, he's already engaged, like, you know, and I can only liken it to he got game. Like when Jesus showed us, where it was a sobering realization for him when he realized everybody around him had their own, like had their hooks into him, like they had their own agendas, like his girlfriend, his coaches, agents. You know what I'm saying? Even his father had an agenda. Like it's tough out here. It's hard to navigate. You know what I'm saying? It's like the snake, the rat, the cat, and the dog. Like you gotta be like you gotta see how everybody's coming, and it requires having a strong team, of loyal cats, maybe a brother or maybe siblings, an uncle, a father, just to like look out for you. I mean, or your agent that's going to look out for you, a manager, or an accountant, somebody to watch all of them, so that you don't end up like Hammer.
Hammer was okay, man. I don't know why you East Coast cats always putting Hammer like Hammer doing just fine.
He bounced back, but he was broke for a second.
No, Hammer was never broke. Broke to us is different.
He was bankrupt.
Any day. I'll be
Oh, fair enough.
Any day.
Fair enough.
You guys leave Hammer alone, man. Business.
Yo. All right. So you know what? Let's switch lanes. The other day we had up to 700 views. The highest listeners we hit. The highest listeners we had was like 50, and we had up to 700 views. So shout out to the listeners. Hopefully more will come in. But let's talk about the foundation of Black Americans. Put some respect on foundation of Black Americans. Math Hoffa did a reaction video. Math Hoffa, if you don't know Math Hoffa, he the guy. Expert Opinion, his podcast. He's the guy that Fat Joe said that egregious thing about foundation of Black Americans, right? So I want, you know what? First, this is how I'm gonna hit this thing. First, let me hit this thing from the rap perspective, right? So it's a lot of talk that black people, we didn't create hold on real quick, let me mute y'all up. That we didn't create hip-hop. All right. We didn't create hip-hop. We share hip-hop. Even though our forefathers created country music, rock and roll, blues, jazz, rap was the only thing that we created post-slavery. We created all those things out of pain, oppression, what was going on. So when we see people say, right there, never forget black people created country music. Look at the screen. So when we say that foundational black Americans created hip hop, we not just talking out the sides of our necks here. Let me play this video real quick. Because a lot of people say, well, Kool Herc, he the one that brung in the break. He the one that brung in the mixing. Really, he brought in the break, right? Switching to another song, stopping the beat, you know, the scratch, which is very important. We appreciate that. Biggie was a Jamaican, even though he didn't talk like a Jamaican, far as rapping wise. He didn't carry himself like a Jamaican. All right. I didn't know, me personally from Detroit, I didn't know Biggie was Jamaican until I heard his mama, until I was like, oh, damn, yeah, Biggie. And I think Biggie, one of the greatest lyricists ever. But that don't mean that we can, because of Kool Herc and Biggie, that don't mean that we can say Jamaicans created it or Puerto Ricans created it because of breakdancing. So let me play this video real quick.
On a random time, stop, steal, and listen to me. God walked down to the Bandit Sea. He declared that he was a sinful man, and then he decided to restore the land. He spoke to Noah. Noah stopped and said, Noah, I want you to build me an ark. I want you to build it 3 years long. I want you to build it big and strong. I want it 50 high and 50 wide, so it will stand the wind and time.
Yo, that was in 1940. That was in 1940. So no matter what, no matter Kool Herc, Biggie, whatever, that was gonna happen regardless. Rap was gonna happen for us. Rap was gonna happen. So at the end of the day, y'all added good ingredients to the gumbo, and we appreciate the gumbo because the gumbo tastes good with all the ingredients from different places in the African diaspora, Puerto Ricans. Speaking of Puerto Ricans, Fat Joe, right? Fat Joe got a lot of mouth about how Puerto Ricans did this and Puerto Ricans did that. Let me play this video. Big Pun. Now I had to let me play this Big Pun video. Now I had to take out the beat of the video so I won't get a copyright violation. But check out this Big Pun video.
Also famous is when I go Boricua, Morena, and Boricua means Puerto Rican and black woman. Boricua, Morena. That's like my love to the music, you know? My love to thank you to the black people for accepting Boricua. Thank you to the black people for accepting Boricua. Thank you to the black people for accepting Boricua. Boricua, Morena, Boricua, Morena. Also famous is when I go Boricua, Morena, and Boricua means Puerto Rican and black woman. Boricua, Morena. That's like my love to the music, you know? My love to thank you to the black people for accepting Boricua. Thank you to the black people for accepting Boricua. Thank you to the black people for accepting Boricua. Morena, morena.
Hey, shout out to Big Pun. Shout out to Big Pun. I'm gonna mute everybody. Shout out to Big Pun, man. Shout out to Big Pun. All right. And by the way, Fat Joe, he didn't make sure that Big Pun family was straight. He's a garden snake. He's a very dirty garden snake. Anybody want to say something? I would love to hear your opinions, man.
Shout out to for the first video. Shout out to whoever edited that. I don't think that beat was out there in the 1940s, but yeah, it's true. It's true. Hip hop is a creation of Black people, and it had some Puerto Rican and Jamaican influences. We got when we talk about the predecessors of hip hop, funk. I mean, New York hip hop at that time definitely sampled much from James Brown, who was a Black man, what we would call FBA or ADOS, and along with funk, some of the old school rock and roll as well. Some influences of Parliament Funkadelic and George Clinton and Bootsy Collins, who were Black people, Black men, so-called FBA. So yeah, Puerto Ricans and Jamaicans have a role. I mean, when it comes to like breakdancing, Crazy Legs or whatever, and pushing it forward with the graffiti or whatever. The 5 elements of hip hop are the MC, the DJ, the knowledge, graffiti, and breakdancing. And I think all Jamaicans and Puerto Ricans played a part in all 5 of them, but they are not the architects of this art form.
Anybody else got something to say? Hey, rest in peace, Big Pun. Man, rest in peace, man. All the great ones died too soon. Big Boy 40, Cutie Pie.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure I get away from people. I agree with what Malik said at the beginning. The beat was slapping, but yeah, I question it. And yeah, I seen that video before, and it was yeah, it's the first time I seen it. It really shocked me because I had to watch it several times because just so I was make sure I was like, man, is this really the 1940s? Oh, yeah, like you just said, the FBA, that's where rap come from. So I'm not sure. I can ask the panel this. I'm not sure if you guys see a difference between rap and hip hop. Is they're one and the same? Because it's hip hop what we look at,
I think,
where it's everybody together, or is that? Go ahead.
I think hip hop is the purest form, and I think rap is took a detour. I think hip hop, it was about the knowledge. It was about it was really about honing your craft. It was about the art of storytelling. It was about being socially and politically conscious of what's going on in your environment, and along with a bunch of other elements. It was also about having fun. But rap, I feel like kind of made us take a detour and made us focus on more of the streets, more of the street element, of course, the violence, the drug dealing, later on down the line, instead of just speaking about the issues of the ghetto, the issues of the ghetto began to get glamorized. You know what I mean?
So, the way I view it, hip hop is an overall culture, right? There's so many different descriptions inside of hip hop as far as how we would describe what hip hop is. Hip hop is not just rap. Rap is an entity of hip hop, right? But we have the whole. We have when you talk hip hop, there's the graffiti. There's break dancing, pop locking, the certain dances. It's, it's a whole group of things that makes hip hop what hip hop is. It's a culture. So it's a way of life. Now, when we talk about rap, rap is a part of hip hop. If you ask me, rap could consist. Rap is connected to hip hop, but hip hop is graffiti and a whole lot of other things that New York brought to the table. You know what I'm saying? And New York is a part of American culture. It's just so it would have to be based off of I don't like POW said, we give respect and honor to our brothers and sisters from from Jamaica, Puerto Rico, and anywhere else that added to make hip hop what it was. But hip hop is American, and when you speak American culture, everything goes, especially when it comes to our race, it's going to have to come through Black Americans. So, it, when you talking hip hop, that's foundational Black America's foundation. But now, for to answer your question, rap is different. And then even when you get into rap, there's different kinds of rap. You got street rap, you got gospel rap, different categories of rap itself.
And
My view.
and just to piggyback off of what you guys are saying, like hip hop is the culture, and the culture of hip hop it's different in different regions. I always felt like rap is the language of the hip hop culture, depending on what state you live in, what town you live in, or how you're living. That rap was our language, is how you spoke. Just like rap on the West Coast is different than the East Coast. So it's not just a small thing, it's a huge, and the hip hop culture itself has taken over everywhere in the world. I mean, we see kids in China and Japan trying to make their hair texture like an afro because they want to copy and emulate our culture of hip hop. But rap is different. Gangster rap, just like what Big Boy was saying, to piggyback off what he was saying, every area, just like Houston rap is different. It's how we speak to each other, how we talk the language, how we communicate with each other. It's just our modern day tribe. Hip hop is the big tribe, and rap is how we speak in whatever region we are in.
Yeah, I mean it's the culture, and hip hop have a lot of children. If you ask me, hip hop have a lot of children, and I mean when you look at house music, you look at go go, you look at what's not
EDM,
yeah
all of it.
yeah
I mean, parts of R&B,
yeah
K-pop. You look at K-pop, that's a child of hip hop for
yeah.
other rap. It's a lot of genres, like Big Boy is saying, were born of that hip hop culture, and where it started and where it's at now is two different places.
Absolutely. Shout out to hip hop.
I also would piggyback, not piggyback, but address something else POW said. I'm not sure if you guys would agree with me when I'm about to say this, but um, when it comes to personal and business, um, I think a lot of that got to keep that separate. With I don't know what kind of relationship Pun and Joe had, so I don't just expect Joe just to lace out his Pun's family just because Pun put him on. I'm not sure what kind of contract Pun had on Joe. Pun and Joe might have, it's a lot of groups out there that the whole group just hate each other. but they do it because they collaborate and they under contract, so they got to do what they got to do. You also got to think about, when Pun died, we ain't thinking about Joe today. We thinking about Joe back in the day, and Joe wasn't laced up like how Joe is laced up now. So I just look at it like, man, you got to keep it separate. Now, if they was brothers, then of course, yeah, he should lace them up, and from outside looking in, yeah, of course they look like they was brothers, but we don't know what was going on behind closed doors.
I think it's a fair point to not, because Fat Joe has continued to say he hasn't stolen anything from Big Pun.
Yeah, nobody was talking to you.
What happened to the homie?
He must have went off for a second. But I got to call flag on the play for Fat Joe, because from what I know about 40 and Big Boy, if y'all was in Fat Joe position, I know y'all wouldn't have his Big Pun. I saw a video like 12 years ago. They was living in a 1-bedroom apartment. But good thing Big Pun's son is a dope rapper in New York and all that. He ain't got no albums or nothing, but I'm sure he makes money off of just being a dope rapper, freestyler and shit. But I know y'all wouldn't allow Big Pun family to be in a 1-bedroom apartment while you wearing $1,000 socks. You feel me? Right? Am I wrong in that?
No, and yeah, of course. So yeah, you're right when it comes to that. But again, you have to look at how he view himself on his driver license. You feel me? So that says a lot.
That's true. That's true.
I got cut off. If I get off of it, it knocks me out. But yeah, I was saying that. I mean, all of this stuff costs. The industry. I mean, I wish more of us were literate and more financially literate and knew the business, and because it would have saved a lot of rappers from in the 80s or early 90s a lot of heartache. But all of this stuff costs. Beats, studio time, getting a song on the radio, getting syndication, all of those things cost. So I mean, I don't know for sure what kind of contract they had, but I think only the mother has been vocal about saying that Fat Joe robbed them, but I haven't heard the son speak on it.
Yeah, but
So
yeah.
It could be more to it than what the wife is saying.
Listen, I get all the contract and the legal jargon and all that and breach of contract. I get that, bills and all that. But I'm talking about from a man's standpoint, Malik. Would you let somebody that helped you get to where you at, right? Not help you get to where you at. Would you let his family stay in the bedroom, 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom apartment? Like you got $1,000 Louis Vuitton socks.
I wouldn't.
Fat Joe, and by the way, Fat Joe always been a very I would put him on the same level as like a Fabulous when it comes to like dressing and wearing $1,000, $5,000 shirts, and you feel what I'm saying?
I can get all that.
Come on,
I get
man.
all that.
I know you do. You're from New York.
I got friends from the Bronx that said Fat Joe always had it. Even before the industry, but I just think we're it's two sides. You know what I mean? It's two sides. We don't know what he did or what he offered. You know what I mean? That's at least that's how I see it.
Yeah, I hear that. I'm gonna get into the foundational Black American part of this thing. If anybody ain't got nothing to say, all right, nobody got nothing to say. So let's get into the foundational Black American part of the segment. That's the last part. Let's talk about tethers real quick. Tethers are basically Sambos from a different from the African diaspora, right? Just like we got Sambos on American soil. For instance, this guy right here, Nigerian candidate for Michigan GOP, says he plans to end Black History Month. And look at him smiling. Big cheesy smile. He happy. That's a tether, Malik. This is the epitome, but besides Candace Owens, but this is the epitome of a tether, right? He actually wanted to end Black History Month, right? Let's go to Exhibit B. Jamaican immigrant woman lieutenant governor says we need to move on from slavery. This is another example we call tether. No, you are not a tether if you are just from a different soil. We all family. The boat just stopped at different places. But this is a tether. All right? Let's talk to my brother
earlier
Claude Anderson. Because a lot of people ask, well, man, why y'all delineating? That's separation. That's division. That's hurtful to the cause, right? That's imitating your oppressor, right? Well, let's see what Dr. Claude Anderson, a scholar, master's in economics.
Earlier in an answer where you said that you talk about native blacks. And so that clearly sounds as if you are delineating native blacks versus someone that comes here from Bermuda or Jamaica or wherever they may they may come from that is black. That's right. And the purpose of that is what? Because you're on the surface, it would be like, hey, everybody here that's black gets treated a certain way. Why are you making that delineation?
That is an excellent point. You know why? Because you see, those people coming in from Jamaica or coming in from Africa, they have not been treated like black folk in this country. That's the first thing. And secondly, historically, they haven't had those historical experiences. They come in here voluntarily. When they come in here, they bring some cultural aspects from Africa. They can go back anytime they want. But the black people in this country are exceptional people. Nobody's been mistreated, maltreated like them. Black folk are exceptional. They're the only people that came here forcefully. One. Two, they're the only people that denied their humanity. Three, they were the only people that denied a right to enjoy the fruits of their labor. Four, they were the only people that denied the right to participate in government. Five, they were the only people that denied the right to vote. Six, they were the only people that denied the right to have an education. Seven, they were the only people that denied the right to have a business. Eight, they were the only people that participated in every war that this country has had since its founding, but whose mother country has never been against this country. All those immigrants come from countries where they fought America, and they came in. And the seventh, that they're the oldest and most patriotic people in the country. Not the Confederates in the South. They're not the most patriotic people waving the Confederate flag. The most patriotic people in this country are black people, native blacks, because you see 99% of all those blacks have been direct descendants of slaves. They've been here before 99% of all the other people ever arrived in this country. They're special people. And because they're special people, they need to be recognized, appreciated, and reparated for what they've done in this country and building this country. They're the ones that built the bridges, the roads, cut the timber, the trees, that cleared the land, raised the tobacco, cotton, indigo. They're the people that fought to raise in every war to protect this country.
All of them turned on me. I know niggas is plotting on me. That's why I keep that thing on me.
future is taking back all that was once hers. We were the virus. Permanent payback. But maybe
Yo, man, shout out to Claude Anderson, brother. Shout out to Claude Anderson. Did anybody want to say something? Matter of fact, Malik, I need you to say something. Please say something. Because you got a lot of and I respect it. I respect the good dialogue, but you got a lot of challenges. So what did you feel?
I got many thoughts. I respect Claude Anderson. I respect his book Powernomics, Black Labor, White Wealth. I respect him. I respect him as an academic and a scholar. I have some disagreements with some of the things he was saying. I don't see the use in delineating. Now, for the two examples that you gave of those people, I think absolutely they're coons, both of them. I would have used the word tether, and I question your definition of tether because I don't believe that's the common use. We can get back to that. But Dr. Claude Anderson said foundational Black Americans are the only ones that have been robbed of their humanity. Tell that to the Congolese that had to face King Leopold, that they weren't robbed of their humanity. Tell that to our ancestors who were taken from the west coast of Africa. I mean, we almost try to negate the fact that our ancestors were taken from that land. So I don't understand the use in trying to delineate from them. Can I go ahead? Go ahead.
No, finish your thought, brother. My bad.
Yeah. If you are delineating yourself from other people that aren't foundational Black Americans, you are delineating yourself from Marcus Garvey. You are delineating yourself from Patrice Lumumba, Thomas Sankara, Ibrahim Traore. You are and the other freedom fighters on the continent, Nelson Mandela, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, who were motivated by the struggle that we had here to rise up against their oppressors on the main continent. And there has been historically when Haile Selassie, when Mussolini went to invade Ethiopia, black people went out there and tried and raised money to try to sort of support. Some even tried to fly over there, and only I believe 2 of them were able to get over there to help in the fight against Mussolini. So, I mean, I don't understand why we're trying to delineate. I think we have a common struggle. Even though we now have different languages and customs and culture, we still can unify under the fact that we are being oppressed by white people around the world. And that's what I got.
Yeah, that's a good point. And you know what? On face value, what you said, I was like, damn, that made sense. But then you are also ignoring what he's saying, right? See, yeah, the Congolese people were tortured and oppressed, but they wasn't robbed of their lineage. That's where you miss, Malik. That's what you said. It touched me because y'all like, damn, that's a good point. But that's what you missed. The delineation. You are not who you are not Kwame Mutombo. You are Adam Taylor. Your name now is Kyle Johnson. They took our name, took our last names, and they took our lineage, they took our traditions, took our customs, right? So you can't put that on, that's not a hat that fits on everybody. That's a hat that only specifically is for foundational Black Americans. Do anybody want to get in? Big Boy, Cutie Pie. All right. Y'all can get in after Malik. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, sir. You said that they weren't robbed of their names. They absolutely have been robbed of their names. Some of them, they have an English name or they have a Belgian name, a Belgian first name. Some of them have a Portuguese first name. There are instances where they have been. I mean, the fact of the matter is, you go and look in Nigeria, they got a big ass Caesar Borgia white Jesus statue in their country. You telling me they haven't been robbed of their humanity and their culture and their languages? I mean, and once again, Dr. Anderson said Black people in America are the only ones that have been robbed of their humanity. Now, that's not true. That's not true. You know what I mean? And I think that's what I got for now.
Okay, so this is the thing, Malik. But you see what POW is trying to get you to see. You could say what you just said in reference to our brothers and sisters that come from these places in Africa that have gone under the harsh conditions that they've gone, but they have a link to their root, right? All we know is we was taken from our land, brought to this land, and all we know of our history is what the same person who took our history from us have told us our history is. That's all we know and all we have to go off of. Those people that's in the Congo and different places is different, Malik. They know their roots because they are still on the land. They wasn't taken from a land and everything stripped from them, the knowledge of self. They probably still know that they are of the Uma tribe or something of that nature. They know that history. You understand what I mean? So you can't sit and say or try to compare those two. I don't understand why he don't see what you explaining, POW. I don't get it.
Man, great point, big boy. You scored 100 points on that one, big boy. Boy, you came in there. Wow. Yeah. Good point, brother. Good point.
Yeah, it don't make sense how he's not getting it, bro. I mean, everything we know of who we are comes from the same people who oppressed us. They told us we come from West Africa, but when we do further studies, it's questionable. And I believe the fact that we come from Northeast Africa. We come from Israel. So how do we know what I take claim to is not true, that our true origin comes from Israel, which during those times was still considered a part of Africa until they built the Suez Canal that was built by a man. So that's what I'm saying. I don't understand how the brother Malik is not getting where you coming from or what was meant by what Dr. Claude Anderson was saying. And that's no slight or disrespect to our African brothers and sisters. My other question was for Malik was I wanted to know if do he think those people want to be delineated? Like, do they want to be separate for us? Because you're focused on our actions, but do you, like, Africans don't care to claim to want to be a part of anything of a Black American. They think we're lazy. They think we thugs. They have nothing but horrible thoughts from the picture of what the white man have painted of us. That's how they see us. So you're saying, why are you not asking the question? Well, hey, do these people even want to be a part of us and a part of who we are and what we are?
Want me to respond to that?
Huh?
You want me to wait, POW? Do you want me to respond now?
Yeah, you can respond. I'm done.
Okay. There are different. Okay, so there are different things that happen. I can say for sure that the struggles on the continent and in America are not identical, but that I don't see. But we can find commonality that we all have been oppressed by white people, right? And if I look down at that list again, that Claude Anderson said black people are the only ones that this and this and that, I could probably find some of those things happening in Africa as well. You said Northeast Africa. Even if that's the case, in the 1300s, 1400s, the Portuguese went one particular place, and they went to West Africa, and that's where they got our ancestors from. They didn't get them from Israel or Palestine.
But that
Um,
don't mean that we
but
was.
but I mean, even if we originated in Northeast Africa or in the Levant, they took us after 1,000 years of being there. If you believe that story, they took us from West Africa primarily.
But
It was
that's
something else that's
not.
that's not true.
I didn't say that's not true. I say, but that still would mean that that's who we are.
But big boy, I mean, we're kind of getting into the weeds. It's a different topic, but I mean,
Let's see
okay,
if 40. Let's see if 40 and Cutie Pie want to add anything to it real quick, Malik. I ain't trying to cut you off, brother. I just want to see if they want to add something.
Um, I have this conversation. I work with a lot of African women and men, and fundamentally they also don't get that whole point that at the end of the day, and I do understand that the oppression was happening on the motherland, but at the same time you were living there, you were in your culture, you kept your name, you kept your family ties, your identity, your generations, you got to hold on to that. There's a lot of Black people out here, even it's hard for African American as an African American female to assimilate with even African women because we don't have the same thought process. The African men don't look at African American women as even worthy of marriage and different things. Just culturally, how we were brought up, we lived two different lives. It was like twins that were separated at birth, and I was raised in America and you were raised in Africa. We don't think the same. We weren't treated the same. And there are commonalities between our experiences, but our experience is very different. I would have loved to have grown up having my African name and lineage versus being a Jackson Johnson Jones. You see what I'm saying? So there is a big difference. So when it comes down to reparations, and we're saying like, ooh, somebody got bad back noise. When it comes down to reparations and things that I feel like foundational Black Americans deserve, there's history to prove that they deserve that. A lot of our ancestors died on this land. They died on boats coming over to this land, being taken from their country. So there's definitely an argument for it. And I feel like there should be some compassion and empathy for our side of this situation.
Yeah, just like
I
what
would.
Cutie Pie was saying, just because we look alike doesn't mean that we think alike. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's I kind of feel the same way where a lot of FBAs be stretching out their arms to different branches, just trying to link on to something that's that can bring us home, that's feel that can link us to something that's to our history, to the beginning. We were, as we all know, we're lost people. So yeah, it's sometime sometimes I feel we may never know the truth or whatnot. So we just gonna have to um, start it brand new and just start it right here on this soil and keep it moving because we just can't keep stretching. We like I said earlier about in our chat about allyship. We always looking for allies and whatnot, but when it comes to allyship, a lot of people, the people that you're linking up with, they're going to want something in return, and being that we don't have nothing to offer, we're never going to be able to link up with anybody until we start linking up with ourselves. We link with ourselves and start uniting within one another, and then we can probably start getting some allyship because then at that time we have something to bring to the table.
Okay. So from what I heard, I've heard people say that Africans don't want to associate with quote unquote foundational Black Americans. That is the sentiment here. That is the sentiment here. That because we spoke the last time I was here, I admitted to the fact that they have been brainwashed to feel a certain way and to believe the negative connotations and stereotypes about Black Americans. But if you go on the continent, it's not the same thing. In 2019 was the year of the return, where the people of Ghana were calling Black Americans to come back to Africa. Okay, so it's that. So you can't say that all Africa shares the same sentiment about Black, like the Africans, the migrant Africans that come here. Also, someone said that they didn't have their names removed. That's not true, because if we see Africans today that have Arabic names that go around dark as Big Boy, and their name is Muhammad. Okay, I would say that's them getting their culture taken from it and their names taken from it. Some of them have anglicized and Christian names. A book I read when I was younger called Kaffa Boy was talking about the apartheid South Africa. The brother's name was Mark Matabani. Mark is not an African name. Okay, so their names in many instances they may have their last name, but they got a Christian first name. That's what we see. That's what we see all over the continent. And I think that's what I got at the moment.
So
Yeah.
let's have a little quick conversation in reference to what you said about Africa, and as far as, and I would agree with you. I heard about what's happening in Ghana, where they want people to come back in Africa. I've heard a lot of stories where you go to certain different tribes out throughout Africa, and they accept you, even offer you to buy land and all of those different things. So I won't disagree with any of that you said. But I've also heard Africans say that Africa is no different than the Americas, where you have both, right? What you get in America with both, where you have Americans that accept Africans with open arms, and then you have some Americans that want to have nothing to do with Africans. It's the same way with Africa. Africa have Africans who love American culture, um, and embrace Black Americans, but as well, what I think you're trying to uh, minimize is that they have Africans that most definitely don't care for Americans, as well as you have a lot of Africans over there that when Americans do come over, that they are trying to run game on, manipulate, and beat out of money. So, I mean, it's pretty much the same on both sides.
A lot of time they've been gentrified and stuff like that too. So you'll find a lot of Africans with African last name, but the first name would be um, like European. So you'll find a lot of that going on as well. Where the reason why they do it is to be more social and to um, seem like they can be more um, in, integrated within the Caucasian society.
Okay. One other thing I wanted to bring up. Somebody mentioned something about we're totally different from them. Um, I think I could confidently say it's different mindsets is what somebody said. I think I could confidently say that somebody that's from Brooklyn, New York, probably has a different mindset from somebody that's from Shreveport, Louisiana, or Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I could say somebody from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, has a different mindset from somebody from Oakland or San Francisco, California. So I mean we don't let the divide between Black people in California separate us from Black people in New York. We say that they're all foundational Black Americans, right? So we able to find commonality in 3,000 miles away from each other, but we're refusing to acknowledge the similarities in the similarities and struggle that we have on the mainland. And I think that's crazy.
Well, I know you don't believe in this and whatnot, but I'm gonna go there. We're not the same people. So
Is that now? Is that the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad?
Absolutely, he teaches
That
all the time
that we're not the same people.
that we're not. He says that the people that's over here are the people of the Bible, the people of we're the Israelites. We're the people, God chosen people.
I think he said we were from the tribe of Shabazz, but the tribe of Shabazz came out of Africa, right?
No, he never said it. That was the tribe of Shabazz is something that Malcolm said, not
Elijah Muhammad did say tribe of Shabazz. Okay, I
Yeah,
stand corrected. That's fine.
That's something Malcolm said. That's why Malcolm changed his name to that. That was a Malcolm belief.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
Malik.
Muslims believe we Israelites too, you know?
Yeah, but Malik, I don't want you to get away with thinking that I don't agree with. I would love to have a conversation. I don't agree with Black Americans because we may have different dialect and how we speak, but we all come from the same American culture, and American culture is American culture. It's the same no matter where you go. When you go to the hood, and anywhere in America, whether it's from California to New York to down south, the hood is the same everywhere you go. People may talk different, the culture may be a little different, but you can't say that the mindset is different because the black struggle is the black struggle, and we all come from the same. We just after slavery, we all went out. Some of our families went separate ways to start a new life and get new opportunity. But I would disagree and would love to have a conversation about us having different mindsets when we all come from the same American culture.
Well, big boy, just like I'm out here in the West and whatnot, but my family from Alabama, Texas, Arkansas, and Illinois. So but my parents was born in San Francisco.
Right.
So, but I'm only second generation out of the South.
Exactly.
So, if I could propose a question, if the United States offered reparations in the form of returning you back to your motherland with like money to set your life up back in Africa, would you go?
Nope. Not
Nope.
permanent.
This my mother. This my motherland where my ancestors been bleeding on for the past for the last 5 generations. This my motherland right here.
I agree.
Well,
Much was sacrificed here.
that's a good question though.
Yeah, I would have definitely. It's tempting. Definitely take it into consideration, but it would be kind of like a retreating. You know what I mean? Like waving the white flag. Like I'm done. You guys won. You can. I'm defeated. But it is. If I can have dual citizenship, and then absolutely, I'll take that all day.
Me too.
Yeah, I can have a land over there and land over here. Then yeah, I'll take dual all day.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
to
sounds good.
leave and just be like, peace out, America. You can have this thing. My ancestors, died on this soil, and I'm just in the mindset. I got to see it all the way through.
Yes, sir. All right, for me. Malik didn't respond. Oh, I was about to say he must.
He just
Hello?
came back.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I heard the question. Repatriation is not a form of reparations in my eyes because you haven't repaired anything. Just sending me to back to the continent without any way of thriving You know, I don't know the language. You know, I would have to decide what part I want to be on. I don't have torrential the best idea of the terrain in certain places. I think that doesn't solve the issue. That doesn't solve the debt that's owed, in my opinion. So I would say that yes, there's a ghetto in every part of America, but the cultures are not the same. The cultures are not the same in California, New York, Chicago, Louisiana. Detroit. I disagree with that. Sometimes, I mean, we probably listen to some of the same music, but the jargon, the banter, the slang is different. Maybe the way they dress is different. You know what I'm saying? So I don't agree with that. Another thing, somebody said, I think it was 40 said, that we're not the same people. You're saying, and we were getting into theology. We're talking about Israelites. Last time I checked, the Israelites were scattered across the four corners of the earth. So they're very well maybe some of your Israelite brothers in Africa. So are you going to delineate yourself from your Israelite brothers?
No, because there is some in there.
Okay, so then that's even more reason theologically for y'all to want to be connected to them, don't you think?
Malik.
Well, if they grow a beard,
does that make sense, or does that make sense? Does that make sense, or does that make sense?
Able to grow a beard and their hair, yeah, and then maybe
that can't be that's the qualification. That's how you know if they're Israelite, if they could grow a beard. What a stereotypical thing to say. Very, very interesting, 40. Very interesting. I'm taking notes.
Hold on real quick. Malik, I call Cat. Man.
Okay.
I call Cat, man. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna call Cat. We are from the same culture. We are all FB. We are all FBA, right? We all know about certain things. We all grew up on the same TV shows. We all put water in the ketchup bottle at one point in our life and shook it up.
There you go.
We all, Malik, you could walk in my mama. Hold on, Malik. Hold on. If you walk in my mama house right now, right, you gonna be respectful. She gonna tell you, hey baby, you want some water and blah blah blah. She gonna feel comfortable with you, right? You know, you gonna know how to talk to her. Y'all probably gonna have a conversation about Democrats because she a Democrat. You feel me? You are of the culture, right? So you are so of the culture. You could sit right in my mama house and be comfortable. She comfortable, right? So come on, man. We all came. We grew up on the same thing. Took bottles back to the store. Put the bottle bag on our bike and ran to the went to the store. Like, come on, candy, like all that shit. That's foundational black. We got roasted when we was young. Come on, you capping right now.
POW. I can go to Detroit, right? Can I respond? Can I respond? I can go to Detroit, and I will be very respectful to your mothers, and respectful to you, respectful to your house. But you can tell me and help me understand what it is to have a fur coat and some Cartiers. I don't understand that. Okay, you could tell me what it's like to Motown to be around and Hitsville to be over there. You could explain. Maybe if you come to New York, I can tell you what it's like to get a chopped cheese, what it's like to wear butters, what it's like to wear the beef and broccolis, be on the corner, whatever. But it's not. It's different. There's commonality, but it's still different aspects. That's why the hip hop in California sounds different than what Cleveland in the 90s or the boom bap from New York.
Malik,
but
there's people in New York that wear. Hold on, I gotta interject. But it's people in New York that wear Cardis, and I got a pair of Timbos in my closet. So what are you talking about? FBA culture. I got Timbo. I got 3 different pair of Timbos in the closet right now, bro.
That's because hip hop has spread throughout the nation, but wearing fur coats and Cartiers and driving What y'all be drive? What y'all used to drive out there? But that's unique
Cadillac.
to Cadillacs. That's unique to Detroit. Having a '64 Impala is unique to California. Driving a Acura Legend is unique to New York. It's similarities, but there's also differences. We can't pretend like there aren't any differences. I don't talk how I don't talk how they talk in Detroit. I say what y'all be saying, man. The way y'all rap, the way y'all rap off beat is different. Like the slang is different.
Hey, Malik,
It's y'all denying the reality.
Malik,
Yes.
you mentioned you're equating mindset. As far as when I say mindset, black people in America that come from American culture, FBA people and the people who's been in America could relate from the struggle from California to New York to down south is still the same. That struggle's still the same, brother. You still have that same system. That system is not different in New York than it is. You got food stamps in New York. They got them in California, and they got them down south because the struggle is the same in any ghetto or black community you go to in America, brother. Now, you talk about people dressing different, having different cultures. Okay, down south we eat gumbo and different jambalaya, things of that nature.
Proving my point.
Someone from Philly may be used to Philly cheesesteaks, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys are known for. In Chicago, they known for Franks. Everybody where they're from have differences as far as things we may eat or things we may do different in different areas, but the struggle's still the same, brother. We are the same.
Are black people? Go ahead.
If most people could survive in any, that's like I had a friend that moved to New York. He said, "Big boy, I'm gonna tell you something, bro." He said, "If you could survive in the hood in Baton Rouge, you could go anywhere in the United States." When he came out of the Marines, he was in California. Now he's settled in the East Coast. Now he was in New York, but he moved to Maine, I think, somewhere now. But he was like, "Hey, big boy, anywhere you go," he said, "Big boy, you could go anywhere in the United States and you're gonna be able to make it because it's the same game everywhere you go, brother."
I don't think that's what he meant.
Okay.
I think what he meant was the conditions in Baton Rouge are so rough that everywhere else could be a cakewalk. Now you just proved my point that there are differences in culture. We got chopped cheese. We got chopped. He just proved my point. The jambalaya in Louisiana, You just proved my point. The jambalaya in Louisiana, the chopped cheese in New York, the Philly cheese in Philly, whatever they eat in Cali, whatever they eat in Detroit, it's differences. And everybody doesn't react to the struggle the same. Now, I mean, come on, it's a 4v1. It's a 4v1. Let me just get this one question out. Are black people a monolith?
No.
Okay then. So everybody's experience isn't the same. Everybody's culture isn't going to be the same. Their reality, everybody's reality ain't gonna be the same, and that's what I got.
Then why can I guess certain? Then why can I guess certain things about the way you grew up? And you probably don't live where you grew up at, right? And when you do go back to where you grew up at, you probably got your CPL, or you probably looking around, making sure you feel me. Like, why can I predict and guess certain things in your life that you never told me before, Malik? How?
Well, listen, I'm not saying I never said that
we're from the same culture.
It's not the same culture. We might share experiences with each other. All of us, every ghetto, black people understand what police brutality looks like. Okay, so there are similarities. There are shared struggles, but there are different cultures everywhere that black people are. It's based off of people's experiences, sometimes it's based off the climate. All right, you telling me to tell people in California, with all the palm trees and shit, understand what it's like to be in 10-degree the weather with a 50-degree wind chill, how it get cold in Detroit, how it get cold in Chicago and New York? They probably don't understand that. They don't understand what it is to wear Timbs in the summer. They don't understand what it is to wear bubble jackets and shit. So it's differences. Yeah, you gotta admit that.
Hey, Malik, we didn't say that it was differences, but this was and you made a wrong observation. You talk like it's harder to survive in Louisiana than it is in New York. That's not true, brother. It's much harder in places like New York and places like California. The cost are high. Bro. That's why they got places like Skid Row, and you guys have people sleeping on subways and all kind of stuff.
I would say the poverty.
Oakland don't get along with West Oakland.
I would say
you know
okay. If why don't 40 even in California, when you look at the Bay and you look at Compton, it's almost a complete total culture shock. It's a completely different thing. It's a complete culture clash. In Oakland, thank you. In Oakland, they have the hyphy movement. They shake their dreads. They ghost ride the whip. California, they're gonna have a 64. I mean, not California. Compton or LA, South Central LA, they're gonna have a 64 Impalas. They gonna wear Dickies.
Hold on. All right, Malik. So, all right, I'm from Detroit, and let's say hypothetically, my first cousin Darrell, he stay in Compton, and I visit there throughout my childhood, right? You know why? You know why I visit? You know why I went there every summer? Because this is foundational Black American culture. That's within the vicinity of me to go visit my cousin in Compton. You feel what I'm saying? Like you wanna make it seem like this is on two different countries or something, bro. No, this is all from the. We hold on. We all pulling out of the same hip hop culture. Let's take it back to the topic. Hip hop. Who created hip hop? We've all been pulling out of the same hip hop culture from LA to Detroit to New York. That's why hip hop in the culture is the reason why me, 40, and Big Boy can even come together and be like, hey, you know, you agree with this, boom, boom, boom. You like this music, boom, boom, boom. Right? It's the culture, right? I ain't gotta ask Big Boy and 40 what they grew up on. I ain't gotta ask Cutie Pie and Malik what did y'all grow up on. All y'all gotta do is tell me what year y'all was born in, and I can tell you what you grew up on, when you went to prom, blah 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 blah. That's because I'm part of the culture. Malik.
40 just agreed with me that it's a completely different culture, and you got the Bay and you got Compton, South Central LA. He just agreed with me on that. Now POW, hopefully you're gonna keep it tall. Do you listen? Did you grow up listening to Mac Dre and E40?
Yes, that's a terrible example.
If you say so.
Are you serious?
W.
If you say so.
Hey, I want to get to the video after Big Boy go, but I want to get to the presentation.
Somebody at 7:47, I don't know what time it is. Somebody in the chat saying they want to know what's the link to come up. I don't know.
All right. Can you put it in the chat for me?
It didn't work the last time.
Hold on.
I'll say this. Put it in the chat. I never saw I never understood why people listen to Mac Dre and E40, and that's just me coming from New York. And I don't think 40 listens to Eminem or D12, and that's what I got.
Hell no.
All right then.
If you're a real hip hop fan, Like, I'm from the West Coast, but I love everything East. I grew up listening to Leaders of the New School, Busta Rhymes, Mos Def, Nas, Jay-Z, all of those guys. Like, love East Coast hip hop. It wasn't just about, oh, I'm only gonna like culturally who I'm around. It was being open to hearing all. And then when the internet blew up, and after MySpace and Facebook and everything, and the music just started being available to everybody, listen to everybody.
I
I'm
mean,
surprised because Big 40, E40 is huge everywhere. So yeah, there's a lot of people outside of Cali, outside of the Bay Area that love E40.
well, I don't listen to them, and I mean, I think there are certain places where it is territorial, it is coastal. Like there are artists. Like for instance, I say the king of the South is Scarface, the best thing that ever came out of Texas. But then I've talked to people who say no, Lil Kiki is the best thing that came out of Texas. I'll talk to people from Atlanta, and I'll say, yo, Ludacris or T.I. is the best thing. They might say Shorty Low. They might say somebody else. They might say Gucci Man. So sometimes it's a coastal thing, and it's something if you're not really into the culture of certain coasts in certain places, you won't understand the feel of what they're doing. I mean, I think this is common sense. I think this is like, I think I'm being very logical here. Or not.
Man, I don't know, man. Maybe you're just not as worldly as you think you are.
I try to travel as much as I can.
Yeah, I think, yeah, if you ain't, maybe you just like what Big Boy and POW was saying, and Cutie Pie just said. It's just that maybe you're just not as cultural involved as as maybe you think you are. I don't know.
I don't think it's real. I don't think it's realistic for me for y'all to think I'm supposed to be aware of everything going on from coast to coast. I might think that Lil Wayne is the best thing that came out of Louisiana, and Big Boy might say, nah, it's Mac from Old Lemon from back in the day, Shell Shocked it, all of that. It's different. If you're not on the ground, you might not really understand what's going on.
If we go with that logic of thinking, then we can't go. Then we can't say we created hip hop.
That's a stretch.
If we go with your logic of thinking, because if somebody else is saying, oh no, Puerto Ricans did it, and somebody else saying no, Jamaicans did it, and somebody else saying no, Haitians did it for whatever, right?
That's a stretch. That's a stretch, POW. That's a stretch.
No, I'm just applying the same thing that you are.
Apples and coconuts, not the same thing.
I'm about to put this link in, and then I'm about to finish this presentation real quick, so people can know about put some more respect on foundational Black Americans' name. So, bam, right here. So when I ask Alexis, have the African diaspora benefited from foundational Black Americans? Alexis said, while Black Americans have fought for, I can't read that part, other Americans in various wars throughout their service, often carry a deeper meaning, as they fought not only, now this is Alexis, this ain't Tariq Nasheed, this ain't Lord Jamar, and this ain't Furious. Their service often carry a deeper meaning as they fought for not only for their nation, but also for the broader freedom and liberation of the African diaspora, even while facing significant racism and discrimination within their own country. Essentially, they fought to improve the conditions of their fellow Africans across the diaspora. So what Alexis is basically saying, what Alexis is saying is we was the Justice League. Yeah, we was X-Men, Cyclops, Storm, Mystique. Yeah, we was the Justice League. Not only was we fighting what we was going through, but we was trying to help out our brothers and sisters. For instance, the Civil Rights Act. If it wasn't for the Civil Rights Act, there wouldn't be no African diaspora coming over here, right? There wouldn't be no having to worry about tethers undermining what we doing. Because the Civil Rights Act say the Civil Rights Act of 1964 significantly, I can't read that part, African diaspora in the United States by legally prohibiting discrimination in public accommodations and employment and education, effectively ending segregation in public places like restaurants, hotels, schools, and paving the way for greater access to equal opportunities for African Americans. So, long story short, if there was no Civil Rights Act, there wouldn't be no immigration. That was part of the whole deal, right? Hold on. So, the Black Panther Party. This is a Black Panther Party magazine, newsletter, right? Shout out to the Black Panther. A lot of them brothers have gone and passed away, but shout out to them. Of the old Black Panthers. This is a newsletter. Get out of Africa. Get out of Asia. And the other one is, let me remove this real quick.
Get out of the ghetto.
No, get out of Latin America. The bottom one is get out of Latin America, but the screen cut off. Here's another newsletter magazine, because you know the Black Panthers have their own magazines and newsletters. Get out of the ghetto. Get out of Latin America. Get out of Asia. Get out of Africa. That's foundational Black Americans not only speaking up for themselves, but speaking up for the whole diaspora, which is why we was a threat to the government. Well, shit, I thought I had that loaded up. But yeah, man.
Furious, you think I disagree with any of that? I like how you I like
in general.
Okay, so I like how you kind of slowed down when it was talking about for their fellow Africans. I like how you kind of was slow to read that, but it's true. We did that, all of that, to pave a way to pave a way for other continental Africans. And also, if you're glorifying that the Black Panthers were socially aware of what was going on around the world, and they knew about Black people in Latin America, Africa, and maybe Asia as well. But now you see that history and that legacy, and now you're trying to do the opposite of what they did and delineate from. And yes. You're trying to delineate. Can I finish my thought? You're trying to delineate away from standing shoulder to shoulder with our people on the continent.
No, I'm highlighting the fact that I'm highlighting why foundational Black Americans are tired, because we have already put our head out on a chopping block table. Now we need other people to do the same thing. When they come over here, we need them to be educated. I was watching a video the other day about Vladimir Putin and stuff, right? No, it was one of his generals. He was talking about, before you come to their country, you got to know certain things about the country. You got to know about the president. You got to know about the capital. You got to know certain things before you can even step on their soil and be considered a citizen. Same thing. That's the same thing it should be with foundational Black Americans. If you know about white supremacy before you come step on the soil, you better know about Huey Newton, Malcolm X. You better know about all the things that we going through. Don't come over here and pretend like white supremacy don't exist, because they using you as bait to leverage against us. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not right. That's not right. Big boy, you want to say something, 40? I'll go to the next video. Y'all want to say something?
Well, I got something to say. Tomorrow, I'm going to let me back in the Talk Black to Me chat. I'm gonna drop a link. You spoke about Africans not speaking up for Black people in America. There was a prime minister this year. There was a prime minister of an African country. I forget which one it was, but he was saying America needs to give Black people reparation. I will find that link and I'll put it in the chat. Also, I wanted to speak again to my other point. I can't go to Detroit and think I just got the lay of the land and I can just figure it out and let my nuts hang because something might happen to me. There's a reason why certain people have to, when they go to different places, they need a pass so somebody can hold them down and make sure that they're good. And that just shows that there's a disconnect between other people or other Black people from different states. But I'm gonna find the link. I'm gonna find out who that prime minister was, and I'm gonna drop it in the Talk Black to Me chat. And he said in the United Nations that America needs to give Black people reparations, and that's what I got.
Y'all want to say something? I just want to play this last video. One last video.
Jeff, thank you for the invite as always, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate
definitely.
it.
Conversation was fire for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. For sure.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, power up. Always power up.
Yeah, I seen Doc be in the building.
Yeah, he in the building.
Okay. Peace.
Hey, real quick, POW, real quick question. Do you think fundamentally Black Americans would be willing to accept reparations in a different form outside of money?
No. Probably not. No.
What about if it was giving them clear credit and an education to the master's level? What if that was the exchange for maybe the next 2 generations of their family?
But what about the people who don't have an interest in higher education?
Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome in.
It was just a question. Just wanted to know your thoughts about it.
I mean, that could be thrown in the package, but no, we need some money, currency, money, and Bitcoin, and we want a Tesla. Everybody get a Tesla. Tesla, Bitcoin, money, and land. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't speak for everybody, but I would accept unlimited education. So I would I would take that and get multiple PhDs.
But you got when we look at, I understand what you're saying, but you got to understand that.
I'm not saying anybody else's decision, but if it was a choice, I would take the education and get multiple PhDs.
But what would it be for people who don't choose to go to higher education?
Well, I think there should be an option, but I think I would lean on getting the free education. I believe, like Malcolm, education is the passport to the future.
I won't disagree, but I mean, when you look at most successful people in society, especially when you're talking about millionaires, multimillionaires, a lot of them don't get it. It wasn't gained through education. If we just be honest.
Bill Gates had some college in his background. Warren Buffett, even Trump had like a couple, I think a year in college.
I mean, I just don't think that's everyone's journey, and the lack of doesn't mean that they're not a dynamic people that could be just such a powerful asset to society outside of having a educational, higher educational background. I mean, you got some people that's powerful, man.
Yeah, I don't want nothing with no paper with no oppressor face on it. Give me some gold and like you were saying,
The
some
money isn't even
education.
backed by gold no more, 40. The
I'm
money
just
isn't
saying
even backed by gold.
some education, like you were saying, but at the same time, it's I always look at it as it being at this particular junction. Um, yeah, it's I'm not sure. I'm not sure how far that cash is going to, that money going to go. So I'm kind of leaning on like what Malik is saying. Yeah, because as they're giving it to us, then they control the economics. So they give it to us, and then everything else start getting the prices are rising. So yeah, it's I think. But then the same thing, they control they can control education as well. So I don't know, man. It's a struggle.
Yeah, yeah. When we talk about reparations, we talk about me specifically. It's just I just want the recompense. I want them to admit what they did to our people. I want them to actually, give some type of recompense or restitution for my people, right? You know, I might be oblivious or naive or whatever, but that's what we want, man. We want our reparations, restitution. Me, I want burial grounds, statues on burial grounds, and a lot of that creepy. Yeah, a lot of that creepy, bull crap that the FBI, CIA. I want all that, all that. We need monuments for the massacres and all types of stuff, man.
You mean like the one they got for Emmett Till that they shoot up every year? I don't think a
No,
statue's going to do it. I don't think a statue's going to do. I don't think a statue. I mean, that's like a. What's the term? It's like a. It's kind of like a way to pacify you. It's like a moral victory. It doesn't mean that much to me to have a statue.
yeah, I hear you,
But it
but
means a lot to the people who
there
lost
you go.
people's
Yeah,
lives who really were heroes, that were never recognized in history. Like, we need that for our younger generations to see, like, these people meant something. We wouldn't be here unless they made the sacrifices and died the way that they died. We need that. We deserve that. They did it for, their people all over this country. We deserve it too.
yeah. Yeah, if you look at the screen, the black massacres all around America. Well, not I can't even say America. This is really just only half of a little snapshot of America. Still a whole nother half of America that they're not showing. 4,000 black people lynched. Make no mistake about it. We got a specific lineage. Fought in every American war. We was enslaved. Started the Wall Street market. We was the first product on Wall Street, the municipal slave market in 1711. Like, we built some of the greatest institutions from the White House to Yale, Harvard, Princeton. Let me get this one right here.
A new report by Citigroup concludes that racism against African Americans has cost the U.S. $16 trillion over the past 20 years. Brigida Santos is here to talk to me and break this down. Brigida, I saw Rick Sanchez did a story very similar to this on the Hispanic part of this, how the Hispanic community brings so much to our economy, and how we're doing everything we can maybe to interfere with that natural progress. How does this study quantify the economic impact of systemic racism?
Researchers measured 4 key racial gaps for Black Americans, including wages, education, housing, and investment. And they concluded that if these key racial gaps had been closed 2 decades ago, $16 trillion could have been added to the U.S. economy. Now, according to researchers, facilitating easy access to higher education for Black students would have increased lifetime incomes by $90 to $113 billion. Providing fair and equitable lending to Black entrepreneurs would have resulted in an estimated $13 trillion in business revenue and created over 6 million jobs every year. Improving access to housing credit would have resulted in an additional 770,000 Black homeowners and added $218 billion in sales and expenditures. And closing the Black wage gap would have added nearly $3 trillion in income. Now, the researchers say that if these racial gaps are closed today, it's not too late. The U.S. can gain $5 trillion of additional GDP over the next 5 years. So basically, this study finds that racism is expensive and inclusion is financially beneficial for the nation.
Yeah, as I was saying, Rick Sanchez did a great report on this the other day, and it is the same thing with the Hispanic community. So I guess what can we do?
Yeah, y'all see how he kept trying to talk about the Hispanic community. He was just being himself, though. He was just being himself, but he kept adding. Well, yeah, the Hispanic. The report wasn't even about the Hispanic community.
Like, literally, they like that.
Have you ever did it in the bed?
Hell no. What you mean?
The report wasn't even about the Hispanic community, but he kept talking about the dang Hispanic community. Just like them, you know.
What if I told you there was an elaborate
Creep on in, on in, on in.
Oh shit. Hey, yeah, man, we could just wrap it up. Any last comments, fellas? Family? Give me some food, watch this game. Any last comments?
Anybody down for taking it to the stereo streets? What's up?
Oppression anywhere is oppression everywhere. Let's focus on what unites us instead of what divides us. Peace.
Any other last comments?
Yeah, we definitely need to work on unity, but we have to respect everybody's perspective and their story. But yeah, I'm gonna drift over to the stereo street big boy.
All right, maybe we could get something going over there. Hey, when y'all gonna be ready, cutie and for that conversation?
Yeah, whenever I'm home. It's up to 40.
Okay.
Appreciate y'all for coming through.
Right.
Yeah.
Good talk.
Good talk. Appreciate y'all.
I'm a man who believed that I died 20 years ago. And I live like a man who is dead already. I have no fear whatsoever of anybody or anything.
Bury me in the ocean with my ancestors that jumped from the ships, because they knew death was better than bondage.
Brought to you by Death Before Bondage.
I might be anywhere, but when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips that I am a revolutionary. The revolution will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised. The revolution will be no rerun, brothers. The revolution will be live.